After big news came out yesterday, Solana's pump has continued to the top side as it is now up over 60% just within the last week. Now, due to this, many people are questioning, should they be buying Solana now? Is this the bottom? Has the bottom been put in? Is Solana now set to go continue up to new all-time highs? And my goal in this video is to just, simply let you guys know what I'm looking for, how I'm feeling about this thing, and what I personally am doing as an investor. So with that said, let's not waste any time at all. Let's first start off about what news came out that a lot of people are talking about from Solana, and then we will take a little bit of a look at the charts, and I will let you guys know exactly how I'm feeling in terms of an investor and a trader. So what we can see here is that Solana is making a crypto phone with help from former Essential engineers. The phone, previously known as the OSOM OV1, built by a team consisting of former engineers and designers from Essential, is being renamed and repurposed today, and it's all in the name of crypto. This afternoon in New York City, blockchain company Solana announced its own mobile phone called the Saga, made in collaboration with Osam. I don't know if it's Osam or Osam or Osom, but you get the point. It's priced at $1,000 and pre-orders open today. A $100 deposit is required, and Solana says the Saga will ship in the first quarter of 2023. Now, kind of getting rid of all the things that aren't necessarily necessary, we can see here that this device is for people entrenched in the universe of crypto wallets, Web3, and NFTs, and it'll come with unique features: support for decentralized apps that rely on the Solana blockchain, which has at least briefly rivaled Ethereum when it comes to NFT sales and volume. NFT marketplace Magic Eden, Solana wallet maker Phantom, and cryptocurrency exchange Orca have signed on to back the Saga and Solana new software efforts. So off of this news, many people are a bit conflicted, and honestly, so am I, right? Now, the reason why I am a bit conflicted is because of there's two different opinions on this, and I will present both of them to you. The first opinion is that, okay, this is fantastic. Solana has a tendency to take advantage of waves, right? It has a tendency to take advantage of new narratives, and it has a tendency to be one of the first members aboard these new trains. So whenever we saw NFTs, metaverse, gaming, all of those waves come around, Solana grew in such strong popularity due to the fact that they were riding those waves and taking initiative to make sure they are one of the first boarders. And for that reason, they have grown to the point in which they are in. But the other side of the coin is that Solana has its own problems right now. We have everything that's going on with, with the market, with the market crashing, having then caused Solana to go down due to congestion over 12 times this year. They have to focus, in my opinion, on their blockchain. The foundation that they have built is not strong enough to support things in terms of mass adoption, in my opinion. We've been seeing too many problems, and so for that reason, it almost frightens me a bit to try to build this big, pretty brick house on top of a foundation that's just simply not strong. And so for that reason, I would like to see them focus a bit more on fixing the problems that they already have before introducing something new that's going to bring on its own problems. So it's kind of weird, because it's like, if this does well for them, of course that is fantastic, but it doesn't change the opinion that they still need to fix the problems going on the network. I know it's still in the beta, but that doesn't completely, separate them from the fact that billions of dollars are invested into them. And it is important, and it should be a top priority to make sure, again, that their fundamentals and foundation are as strong as can be. And I'm not sure that this contributes to that personally. So it's a little bit of a weird mix there from me personally, but I do believe overall building an ecosystem and creating new things that are going to apply to the real world is never a bad thing for a crypto company, especially one in the top 10 that can sustain it probably. So for that reason, I am a little bit more bullish on this news than I am bearish, but there are those bearish implications from me personally. Now, as a result of this news, we did start to see Solana's price continue to the top side. If we go out to the daily charts here, Solana from, let's go ahead and call it June 14th to now, is up a whopping 56 to 60% and seems to be doing quite well. Now, the issue that I'm seeing, though, is that many people are getting way too ahead of themselves, okay? They're getting way too ahead of themselves and saying, oh, this is it. $25 was the bottom. We came down to this point of confluence from back here of the summer of last year and, last year's little mini bear market. We came back down to that point of confluence again. We saw the liquidity step in. Bull stepped in, pushing the price to the top side. We're good. We're in the clear. This thing is going to $100,000. And I just simply am not at that point yet, So the way I'm looking at this thing is that it's all about confluence. confluence. Now, what is confluence? Confluence on a chart basically means, just to make it as simple as possible, areas or price ranges that have a significant amount of liquidity to the point that they become key levels of resistance and key levels of support, of course, dependent on what side you are on. So what that means is that you look at a level such as this, right? We bounced up, we came up, we hit this level as resistance. We hit this level of resistance after establishing it as support for a little while back here. Now, not only did we hit it as support, resistance here, we also ran into a little bit of resistance here. Not only was there resistance there, we came down to it and established support on it here. Support kind of established there, resistance on it there. You can see that this $42.41 level is consistently getting interacted with, which makes it a level of confluence. But what we can see right now is that we've done a decent job of holding support, but we've not recaptured any of these levels of confluence yet. These levels of confluence are my confirmations, and each one of these is a step to the right direction, and we've simply just not seen that happen yet. So personally, what I'm looking at is this thing as a 4-step equation for when I will become extremely bullish. The 4 steps are first and foremost, let's go out to just the weeklies for now, but the 4 steps are going to first and foremost be $42.70. I need to see that level cleared. Once we see that cleared, we then have $58, $82, and then the 4th step is us getting back above this trend line. One thing we know about bear markets is they love trend lines. We will fall away from it, separate from it, revisit it, and get rejected off of it. Fall away from it, separate from it, revisit it, then get rejected. And we do it all the time in every single bear market that I've ever experienced in stocks and in crypto. And so for that reason, I need to see us at minimum get back above this trend line before I get, excited in the slightest, okay? So the first thing that I'm looking for and what I'm going to be paying the most attention to before I even really do get too bullish on Solana right now is, do we get back above, let's just call it $42.40. If we're able to get back above this level and hold it, that could be a fantastic sign that we are making some steps. And it wouldn't be a terrible idea to possibly set a stop loss around, $36 to get us on, set a stop loss below, even maybe below the wick. Let's go, I would say below the wick. Boom. We set a stop loss below this wick. We set a stop loss below this level of support here. And if it does clear $42, possibly I might go long. I might just accumulate a little bit, expecting that it may revisit this next level of confluence at $58, which was our resistance establishment there, as well as our resistance establishment here. This is the next zone of confluence, again, at $58. So if we do see that successfully happen, this could be a nice trade of, 35 to 40% with a stop loss set of somewhere around, 17%, which is around a 2-to-1 risk trade there. That's the type of mentality I'm in right now, because although we are not in a position where we've made any significant steps, I do believe there are trades to be made, right? I do believe there are potential trades to be made in the sense that there are gains to be made from obviously here to here. There are gains to possibly be made from here to here. But if we're talking about long-term gains, if we're talking about big gains, they're not going to happen until we break this trend line. And these zones of confluence are the ways for, the steps for us to get back above this trend line and then make that move. Personally, I'm just simply not convinced that this is anything but a relief rally in the market. I do believe the rest of the market is going to fall at some point. I don't personally think that we have seen, the complete ending of this bear market and that we're going straight up from here. I just don't see it happening. And so until we start to get better confirmation, such as getting above this trend line, breaking these zones of confluence, getting above this key level of support, I'm not going to get too bullish to the sense that I then am starting to make, super impulsive decisions that end up getting me liquidated. I put on my Twitter just earlier today, shorts get liquidated during pumps like these, and then when people get too bullish on these relief rallies and go long, the market resumes its fall and liquidates those bulls. Don't make impulsive decisions just because the market is green for a few days. You don't want to fall into this trap of buying during these bear traps, and I believe this is very possibly a bear trap, and it's not proven that it's not yet, so I do believe moving with caution is very important, and buying at these confirmation levels all the way up until the point that we make the big confirmation is the best way to go about it, and not just putting a whole bunch of money in now and hoping for the best, because had you done that in a time like, back in February when we got this super nice bounce right here, right? We got a bounce, say you bought somewhere right around here, you're now sitting at a loss, even after this pump we're seeing now, of 60%. It's just not worth it in my opinion. Wait for the bigger confirmations, wait for the better confirmations, and then it starts to make more sense to go even more long. So with that said, that's my update today on the Solana news and my opinion on the price charts. Of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. It's not the most bullish video ever, but I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here to blow smoke up your rear end. I'm simply just here to let you know exactly how I'm feeling and what I think about these charts and the news. So with that said, that's about it. Of course, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace.